In this video, we're going to review the various exterior design of all of my 10mm quarter-inch drive sockets and how I prefer ratchets that do not have quick release. I started with a Craftsman ratchet with a quick release. That's all I knew, but various times when I would hit something in a tight quarters and release the socket, as soon as I could get better tools, I always picked non-quick release sockets. And now that I have these various socket designs, I found that the exterior design of the socket plays a role in having non-quick release ratchets be useful, because this is the bottom of the barrel Harbor Freight socket from one of those homeowner sets, and it virtually has no exterior design to help you pull off the socket. And maybe for some people, they're just used to this. They grab a rag, pull it off. It's no big deal. Now that I've been purchasing Koken sockets, I realized that they have some design characteristics on their exterior that makes them a breeze to take on and off non-quick release ratchets. So this is the Zeal quarter-inch 10mm socket that came in my set. It's super low profile. You can zoom in and see the length. And I measure several of these sockets, and you can compare them to the rest to kind of estimate the lengths of all of them. But this is definitely my shortest socket. It's designed to be super short. But as you can see, the design tapers down at the base to make it easy to grab. And even if you try to get a tool in there, it's difficult because the ball indentation is designed to keep the socket very close to the ratchet. This is a quarter-inch 10mm nut gripper. It's a little bit longer than the Zeal, but as you can see, it still has that tapered design that allows you to easily pull the socket off a non-quick release ratchet. You know, for quarter-inch, this isn't an issue, but for half-inch, and you're all covered in oil, I've had it be an issue for sure. So good job to the Koken design team to make this socket easy to pull off even when your hands are oily. In addition to the tapered design, it also has a rough matte industrial finish with some texture on it that also helps in that situation, I'm sure. So very happy with these nut gripper sockets. You can see the ball indentation there. You can see the finish. You can see the black spring, kind of how it's designed. And I've been buying nothing but Koken sockets since I bought my first one. And very happy with all my tools. But at this point, I'm just buying the Toyota sizes and various Koken sockets. Having a great time building my tool set. This is a 10mm Duralast socket I ran out and bought when I was short of 10mm once. It's virtually no design, but even that little bit of indentation on that red stripe creates enough friction to get it off pretty easy. So if my hands are oily, I'm pretty sure I could get this socket off without having to use a screwdriver or something. Like I said, quarter-inch is a breeze. Half-inch, it tends to be a bit more of a challenge sometimes with the hands covered in oil. So this is the Icon, minimal design, just a little bit of knurling. The name Icon actually provides some grip. Actually, I found it much different if you put your thumb on where the Icon name is versus where there's just a blank chrome space. It actually adds quite a bit of grip with just that serial number and Icon name. But there's a tiny little ledge and a smaller necking down of the cylinder, but it's almost not enough to detect. But it's clearly there, designed to help you get the socket off the ratchet. So it's an acceptable design with enough grip, I guess. But you might need to grab a rag with the Icons if your hands are covered in oil. It's obviously a lesser of an issue with the deep sockets. You simply have more surface area to grab. So very happy with all the Icon tools as well. I do kind of wish I discovered Koken before I bought a lot of this stuff, but all the stuff is definitely slightly cheaper than Koken. This is a Sunex magnet 6-point deep socket, quarter-inch. It has a design that really helps with removing it from a ratchet, even though it's an impact socket. It's considerably neck down towards the end. Here's where I realized I forgot to measure some of the sockets and also go over this swivel universal 10 millimeter nut grip coking socket. So clearly with the swivel, it's super easy to grab and pull off of a ratchet. You can zoom in there and see how long it is. But even without the swivel part, they still have a little bit of a design at the base there to help you grab it off. If you're you know, you can just snatch it off right there. But if you're intent on grabbing it at the base, that's enough of a design to get some grip on it, which I think is thoughtful and helpful, and so I appreciate it. The Sunex sockets have been very good for me. You know, when I bought these, I just was trying to get, you know, a basic set of 6-point sockets. I didn't even realize they were magnetic. This is another Sunex socket, a wobble. I did not realize this was magnetic, a 1/4 inch 10 millimeter. These are all 10 millimeter, except for that first one was 11. But this is a 12-point socket. I also didn't realize that. But looking back on it, I mean, these were what were available online. I got this at Home Depot or something. But you know, I'm very happy with the Sunex sockets. I'm not a heavy enough user to make a gripe about them. This is a Makita. I thought it was fairly cheap, very thin-walled impact socket. I'm a big fan of the Makita tool brand, and I saw their impact sockets for dirt cheap at Home Depot, so I bought them. It's interesting that they're almost the exact same form factor as this Duralast chrome socket here. I mean, the dimensions are almost identical. But of all the sockets, this one has virtually nothing to help it pull it off a ratchet, and it's probably because it was designed to go on a impact driver with a bit that you would have all the grip in the world just to reach from behind it, because it's on a 1/4 inch hex bit. And so for its design, it's perfect. But you know, if you're using it on a ratchet and your hands are oily, yeah, you're gonna want a quick release. But the whole point of this video is to show that if you have certain sockets, then the quick release is not required, and in my opinion is just kind of a nuisance when you're working on a car. But obviously that's my personal preference. That being said, I have quite a few quick release ratchets. For example, my first ratchet ever I found on the side of the road was a Craftsman made in USA 3/8 quick release ratchet. Recently purchased a long tone 1/2 inch. It only came in quick release. Recently purchased a Nipros, same thing. The only one I could find for the price I wanted to pay was a quick release. And as far as I could tell, all Nipro ratchets are quick release. Tekton, about 2 quick release ratchets, didn't want it, but that's just what they had on sale at the time.